Everybody wants to get rich and be financially free as soon as possible. The problem, 99% of the videos you see online talk about mindset, routines, and generic advice. But no one actually shows you the step-by-step on how to make $10,000 a month in 2025. They talk about motivation, waking up at 5 a.m., reading books, but let's be real, that won't put money in your bank account. You need a proven system, and that's exactly what I'm going to break down for you today. If there's one thing I've mastered, it's making millions in complete silence before turning 24. And guess what? My business has nothing to do with my YouTube channel, social media, or anything you've ever heard about before. I didn't go viral, I didn't rely on luck, I built a real business with real revenue, and I did it without being famous. To prove it, my best month in business brought in over $200,000 in revenue, and that was in January 2025. So yeah, I know a thing or two about taking you from $0 to $10,000 a month. And not just once, I've done it multiple times in my career. If you're serious about making money online, you're in the right place. That's why, in this video, I'm not going to waste your time with 40 steps of nonsense. I'll break down the only 4 steps you need to go from $0 to $10,000 a month. No fluff, no hype, just real business principles that actually work. You'll also see that most people have made you believe that this is way more complicated than it actually is. They tell you that you need the perfect method, the best system, but in reality, every business follows the same process, the same frameworks, and I still use them today every time I launch a new business. By the end of this video, I'll guarantee you'll have absolute clarity on how to start a business and hit $10,000 per month. Even if you're a complete beginner. No experience, no money to invest, doesn't matter. This works. But here's the thing, if you can't sit through this video for 5 minutes without scrolling back on Instagram or TikTok, I'm sorry, but business probably isn't for you. Making money online requires focus, discipline, and execution. Watching 100 motivational videos won't do anything if you don't take action. Now, before we dive into the actual steps, let me clarify something important. This system works whether you're starting from scratch, have zero technical skills, or if you already have a business but want to launch something more profitable and scalable. These are fundamental principles that apply to any profitable business model. If you follow these steps and if you actually implement them, you can go from struggling to make $10,000 per month faster than you think. The biggest mistake people make is overcomplicating things. They jump from one business model to another trying to find some magic system. But success isn't about finding the next shiny object. It's about mastering the fundamentals and executing consistently. Step 1. You need to choose the right opportunity. Choosing the right opportunity is what separates those who struggle for years, making little money, from those who hit $10,000 per month in 6 months. The difference isn't luck. It's about understanding business fundamentals and choosing the right model. Some businesses require huge startup capital and have razor-thin margins, making it incredibly hard to succeed. Others, they're highly profitable and easy to scale, but only if you know where to look. Take logistics, for example. On paper, it seems like a solid business, but when you break it down, you realize you need to buy trucks, you need to hire drivers, you need to deal with maintenance costs, all while making a tiny margin. That's why it's crucial to choose a business with high profit margins, low overhead, and scalability. I learned this the hard way. Before I found the opportunity that made my company millions, I wasted years on low margin businesses. I launched a DeFi platform called Fragment, an event organizing company called Omnia. We generated decent revenue, but profits barely enough to survive. That's when I realized something. I wasn't making money because I had picked the wrong business model. If I had understood what I'm about to share with you, I could have scaled way faster and avoided years of wasted effort. So, how do you pick the right business? You stop trading time for money. This is the biggest mistake 99% of people make. They think that working more hours means making more money, but that's not how wealth is built. You need to detach your income from your time. If you're still exchanging hours for money, you're not running a business. You're just a freelancer or a glorified employee. Now, When it comes to real business opportunities, you only have two choices: selling products or selling services. That's it. Every profitable business falls into one of those two categories. Let's break them down. Selling products, and why I think that's a trap for beginners. At first, selling products sounds appealing. You can launch a cosmetics brand, a clothing line, or a tech gadget. But the problem, it's expensive, complex, and risky. Think about it. You need to manufacture the products, store inventory, handle shipping, and manage returns. That means big upfront costs and low margins. I know because I've been there. For beginners, selling physical products is the worst way to start. You'll spend months investing time and money before you even see a profit, and that is if you ever do. Selling services, and why I think this is the fastest path to cash flow. If you're starting from scratch, selling services is the best way to generate fast income. You have no inventory, you have no overhead, and you have no upfront investment. Start today and begin making money immediately. Look at every successful entrepreneur who made serious money early on, including myself. We all started with services. The beauty of services is that they allow you to generate cash flow quickly. You don't need to worry about productions, logistics, or warehousing. You simply sell a skill or a solution to a business, you deliver the service, and you get paid. What makes a service profitable? Not all services are created equal. If you want to hit $10,000 per month, your service needs to meet these three criteria. It needs to solve a real problem with a strong demand, because if no one needs it, no one will buy it. And I can give you an example. Businesses need clients, they need funding, and they need sales solutions. Secondly, the market needs to be large enough. You don't want to sell something only 150 people in Dubai need. Instead, focus on industries with thousands of potential clients, like real estate, tech startups, and venture capital, just to name a few. And thirdly, it needs to be digital and scalable. Avoid local businesses that require physical presence. Think global. You want a service you can deliver remotely. There are hundreds of profitable businesses you can sell. And just to name some of the few offers I have worked on, you have deal generation, client acquisition, fundraising, distribution, go-to-market strategies, and that's just the beginning. If a business needs it and you understand that, you can monetize it. Keep it simple. One of the biggest reasons people fail is overcomplication. They try to be fancy, create something new, or chase trends. That's the mistake. I kept it simple. I saw that every business needs funding, so I launched a fundraising agency. It was straightforward, in demand, and easy to scale. That one simple idea made me millions. So don't overthink it. Pick a simple, high-demand service and execute better than anyone else. I know what you're thinking, but what if I have no skills? And that's the question that you're asking yourself. But what if I don't know anything about finance, fundraising, or helping companies get more and better deals? Truth is, that doesn't matter. Every successful business starts with one crucial phase: research and development. This is where you figure out exactly what you're going to sell, how you're going to deliver it, and what will make customers choose you over the competition. If you get this step right, you'll set up yourself for long-term success rather than wasting months or even years on end on a business that makes any profit. I've already given you a few examples of high-demand services: deal generation, fundraising, distribution, and go-to-market offers. If you want something more unique, you can literally ask ChatGPT, what service can I sell to businesses that is easy to deliver and in high demand? You'll get tons of ideas, and once you have an idea, all you need to do is to test it. Ask ChatGPT for similar services and see which one resonates with you. And if you need more inspiration, I've actually just recorded a video going over all of the niches and industries that we found to be the best in 2025, and which you'll find in the description of this video. Now, back to your question. How do you deliver the services if you have no skills? And this is where most beginners get stuck. I'm not a financier, I'm not a broker, so how can I start a business that sells these services? And here's the answer. You don't need to do the work yourself. Instead, you leverage other people's skills. Think about restaurants. The owner isn't the chef in 99% of the cases. They hire a professional chef to do the cooking. And that's exactly what you're going to do in business. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to know where to find the experts. Platforms like LinkedIn and Workable are filled with talented experts willing to work for competitive rates. But the trick isn't just hiring anyone. You need to find the best people that can deliver results consistently, and more importantly, that can scale with you. And just taking a page off of my book, here's how I built Avalanche Capital. I went on LinkedIn and I posted a job listing for a chief investment officer. 50 plus people applied. I reviewed their work, negotiated pricing, and tested them on a small case study. I hired only the best of the best, and I ensured I pay them well. Now, they are the foundation to a world-class service, and I can focus on running the business. The result? I deliver better service than my competition at a lower price, and I don't even have to touch the work myself. So, to dominate your niche, you need to excel in 3 different areas. The first of which is quality. Just like in a restaurant, great food, or in this case, great service, will keep the customers coming back. Deliver top-tier results and you'll get referrals, repeat clients, and credibility. Second point is speed. In business, faster is better. Amazon made Jeff Bezos one of the richest men in the world because they deliver packages faster than anyone else. If your service is quick and efficient, customers will choose you over slower competitors. And thirdly, pricing. If your service is better and at a more attractive price than your competitors, you'll win every time. Don't be the cheapest, be the one with the best service at the best price you can get. Now, let's break this down. How do you build the perfect service business step by step? The first thing that you need to do is you need to pick a service. That being deal generation, fundraising, distribution, go-to-market strategies, whatever you want. Then you need to find people who can deliver it for you and with you. You post job listings on LinkedIn, Workable, and you select the best candidates to help you fulfill. You negotiate great pricing and you establish a workflow. Create a website that looks professional and positions you as the expert. Then you need to start reaching out to potential clients. Once you have this set up, you have a real business. One that doesn't rely on your time, but rather on systems and processes. The proof that this works is that when I launched my agency, I didn't have a reputation, testimonials, or case studies, but I knew one thing: every single business needs funding. So I positioned my agency to solve that problem better and faster than everyone else. It worked. I went from zero to a highly profitable business by leveraging the power of delegation. And now I sell my services in Dubai, across Europe, in the US, and globally, raising concurrently over $2.2 billion for my clients. If you followed along, you now understand how to pick a profitable service, how to leverage talent to deliver the work, how to position yourself as the expert and win more clients. At this point, you have everything you need to start building your business. The only thing left, getting customers. And that brings us to step 3. Gaining visibility. Now that we know where we're going to sell, we need one thing to start making money, which is visibility. You could have the best service in the world, but if nobody knows you exist, you won't make a single cent. That's where most people get stuck. They create a website, they make this great offer, they sit back and they wait for clients to roll in, but nothing happens. Why? Because no one knows they exist. So the first step to gaining visibility is setting up a simple but effective website. This isn't complicated. Your website should be a single page that clearly explains the following: what you do, why people should choose you, what makes you different, and why they should buy from you now. Most people overcomplicate the step, but it's really about clear messaging and good copywriting. Your copy should speak directly to your potential customers, addressing their problems, and positioning your service as the solution. If your website isn't converting, the problem is almost always bad messaging, not design. I've seen people create beautiful websites that fail simply because visitors don't understand what's being sold, and a confused buyer won't buy. So keep your website clean, to the point, and focused on conversion. Once your website is set up, you need traffic, potential buyers visiting your page. And there are only 3 ways to get traffic that actually leads to sales: organic content, direct outreach, and paid ads. All of them work, you just need to pick one and master it. Organic content is the most powerful way to get customers for free. If done correctly, it can bring in unlimited leads without you ever having to spend $1 on ads. To succeed with organic content, you should pick one platform to start off: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is, and focus all of your efforts there. The goal is simple: create content that your ideal customer is already searching for. For example, if you offer fundraising services like we do, you should make content like how SaaS startups can get an additional $10 million in funding in 2025, the biggest mistakes businesses make while fundraising, 5 easy pitch deck hacks to get more meetings with top VCs. If your content provides real value, people will trust you. And once they trust you, they will hire you. I know people making 50,000 plus per month with organic content, sometimes from videos that only get a few hundred views. Why? Because quality matters more than quantity. A video with 100 highly interested viewers is more valuable than a viral video with 100,000 interested people. A friend of mine started a branding agency through Instagram Reels. At first, her videos only got a few thousand views, but even with small numbers, she landed clients, grew her income, and now makes nearly $1 million a year. And while organic content creates and attracts inbound leads, the reality is, if you want to consistently book meetings and close deals, you can't just sit around waiting for people to come to you. This is where cold email and LinkedIn outreach come in. The combination of organic content and direct outreach allows you to speed up your sales cycle, because instead of waiting for leads to reach out, you go directly to them. It allows you to control the volume of your outreach, because the more emails and DMs you send, the more meetings you book. And it allows you to target specific high-value clients, because instead of relying on whoever finds your account, you proactively reach out to ideal clients who can pay top dollar. Let's break down exactly how to execute cold email and LinkedIn outreach the right way. Cold email is still one of the most effective ways to land high-ticket clients, but most people simply get it wrong. And here's how to do it right. The first step is that you need to build a targeted lead list. You need to reach out to the right people and not just blast emails to random contacts. You can use databases like Apollo, Uplead, LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find the decision makers in your niche. You filter them by industry, company size, job title, location to ensure you're reaching the ideal prospects. After this, you want to verify your emails using tools like Never Bounce or Zero Bounce to reduce bounce rates. An example target: SaaS founders raising capital. Let's give you a quick example. Let's say I'm looking to fundraise for SaaS businesses. If you offer services like this, your target might be SaaS companies with 1 to 10 million in ARR, founders actively looking for funding, companies recently featured in fundraising news. The more specific you're targeting, the higher your conversion rate. You get it. Step 2, you need to actually write cold emails that get replies. Your emails need to be short, direct, and value driven, not a long-winded pitch. Here's a winning structure. The subject line, you need to keep it simple. Keep it curiosity driven but relevant. For example, the email body. Line 1 needs to be personalized. Show them that this isn't mass email. Mention something specific about their company. Lines 2 and 3, highlight your value proposition. Tell them exactly why you reached out and why you can help. Line 4, tell them exactly how you reached out and how you can help. Line 4 to 5, a call to action. End with a soft CTA. And remember, the goal is always to sell the meeting and not to sell the service, at least when it comes to outreach. Step 3, you need to send at scale and follow up. Send 500 to 1,000 emails a day using Smart, Lead, Lemlist, or Instantly. Follow up 3 to 5 times over 14 to 21 days, as most replies actually come from follow-ups. Test your subject lines and messaging to improve the reply rates. The goal is that you should book 5 to 10 high-quality meetings per week from cold email alone. Now we look at a different beast, LinkedIn DMs, because while cold email gets you meetings, LinkedIn builds relationships that convert over time, so it actually serves a bit of a different purpose. And here's how to use LinkedIn for client acquisition. The first step is that you need to optimize your profile. Your profile needs to sell your expertise at first glance. You need to have a headline, which needs to clearly state what you do. You need to have a banner, which has a simple graphic highlighting your value proposition. You need to have an about section, which keeps it clear and concise, focusing on who you help and the results you get. And you need to have a feature section, which adds case studies, testimonials, or high-value posts that build credibility. And now, once you've done all of this, instead of sending spammy cold DMs, use this 3-part framework. The first thing is that you need to send a connection request. You send a custom request based on mutual interests or relevance. An example is, hey, first name, I saw that you're working on fundraising for company name. I'm excited to connect. Always great to meet founders in the space. Once they accept, don't pitch just yet. Instead, provide value. As an example, thanks for connecting, first name, noticed your last post about funding, really solid insights. I recently put together a breakdown on 5 investor pitch deck hacks that get more meetings. I'm happy to send it over if you think it's useful. And lastly, if they engage, then you transition into booking a call. I'll give you an example. Let's say someone replies. You get back to them saying, I'm glad you found that useful. We actually help SaaS founders secure funding by optimizing their investor outreach. We recently helped, and you insert the case study, raise X amount of money. Would you be open to a quick chat next week to see if we could do the same for you? So, as you see, cold email and LinkedIn create a client acquisition machine. When you combine both, you create a scalable system for landing high-ticket clients consistently. Cold email, it allows you to book meetings immediately with outbound leads, and LinkedIn, it allows you to warm them up and convert them over time through trust building. This strategy allows you to control your deal flow, book calls predictably, and scale to 10, 50, 100K per month without ads. And if you don't want to wait for organic growth, or if you've exhausted direct outreach, you can always pay for traffic using Facebook ads, Google ads, or YouTube ads. Here's the biggest advantage of paid ads. You can get in front of tens of thousands of potential clients overnight. For example, if you sell logo design services, you can run an ad saying, need a professional logo for your business? Get a high quality custom design in 48 hours. Click here. With paid ads, you can start making sales tomorrow. The downside is that you're spending money to acquire customers. If done wrong, you can burn through cash without results. The secret to successful advertising is to follow this one golden rule. Your ad must put the right message in front of the right audience. This means that the ad needs to be clear and compelling. The targeting needs to be laser focused on potential buyers. The landing page must be optimized for conversion. And a common mistake, people run ads with bad messaging. If your ad doesn't grab attention and makes people click, you'll lose money. That's why you must test different ads and improve them based on results. So, you're asking yourself, which strategy should I pick? Well, if you're starting with zero budget, go with organic and direct outreach. It's slower, but builds long-term trust and authority. If you have money to invest, run paid ads to speed up the process, but make sure you learn the basics first. So, key takeaways. Your website must be clear, persuasive, and conversion-focused. Organic content is the best free strategy to gain visibility. Paid ads are the fastest way to get traffic, but they require an investment. Pick one strategy and master it. Don't jump in between multiple methods. At this point, you now have a profitable service, a clear offer, and a strategy for getting clients. But there's one final step that will determine whether you actually succeed. And that's step number 4. Persistence and scaling. The reality of starting a business is not glamorous. It's a grind, it's uncomfortable, and it's the reason why most people fail before they ever see success. If you want to hit $10,000 per month, you need to understand how the journey actually plays out. Month 1, you typically build your website, you buy your domain, and maybe you even get a logo. You put in the work, you set up your offer, you reach out to potential clients, and you're creating content. And by the end of the month, most likely you're in the red and nothing has happened. You might be $150 to $200, $500 down due to initial expenses. At this point, 90% of people quit. They thought they'd make money instantly, but instead they realize it requires real effort. They panic, think they picked the wrong business, and go back to their job for a quick paycheck. Then you get to month 2, which, if you keep posting content, reaching out to clients, and refining your sales process, you'll see that you're still not making that much money, maybe a few small sales, but nothing life-changing. And at this stage, another 90% of people give up. They see slow progress, they assume it's not working, and jump to another business or quit altogether. By the end of month 2, only 1% of people who started are actually still here. And that's when you get to month 3. The breakthrough phase. You start seeing the results of your efforts, maybe your content is getting traction, maybe a client finally says yes. Maybe your first real $1,500 month happens. And at this stage, everything starts to click. You've built momentum, your skills have improved, and suddenly things don't seem so hard anymore. Month 4, 5, 6, you're scaling, you hit $10,000 a month, you go from charging $2,000 to $4,000, you refine your processes and you double down on what's working. You increase your outreach, your contents, your ads, and by month 6, you're making $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. And at first glance, you must think that going from $4,000 to $10,000 seems like a big jump, but it's actually the same process repeated at a higher level. If you're doing content, create twice as much content. If you're running ads, you need to increase your budget strategically. And if you're doing outreach and sending 100 messages a day, then send 200, 300, 400, 500. And to bring all of this in, this is what I call the 6-month rule for success. If you want to win in business, here's the golden rule. Give yourself 6 months. Most people quit way too early because they expect instant gratification. They expect to see big money in 30 days, and when it doesn't happen, they convince themselves they're failing. But here's the truth. You're not failing in month 1, you're learning. You're not failing in month 2, you're building a foundation. And by month 3, the results start coming in. And by month 6, your life can completely change. So if you can commit to 6 months of focused work, your business will grow. Period. And unfortunately, we live in a world where everyone wants things instantly. Likes, comments, money, success, but the people who actually win in business are the ones who understand delayed gratification. Think about it. Most people would rather make $60 today than wait 6 months to make $10,000 per month consistently. The reason you see so many broke entrepreneurs is that they fall into the trap of looking for shortcuts, jumping from business idea to business idea, or quitting too soon. And at this point, you have everything that you need. You have a profitable business model, a proven way to get clients, and a clear roadmap to scaling to $10,000 per month. Now, the only thing left is you. Are you willing to put in the 6 months of effort? Are you willing to push through the hard parts where most people quit? I hope this video has given you everything you need to understand the basics of business and how to get started. If you want a deeper dive, I have a breakdown recorded on my channel of the best business models that you can pick in 2025, packed with even more details. Check the description for this link or watch the video here. As always, I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you on the next one.